Hi YouTube, it's P+7 on Twitter and YouTube, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and people elsewhere on the internet. And I just did a little minor surgery on a pair of glasses, and the patient is recovering nicely, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't see. There you go. And those glasses happen to be made of metal, so it was a little trickier than the usual stuff I do. But I figured I'd share it anyway. For anyone who has ever made the mistake of buying a kid's manicure kit that has the acrylic powder, it helps if I get this stuff where the camera is, and the acrylic liquid, which is too strong for doing regular hand nails, and the acrylic primer, which is better used for craft projects as opposed to your nails because it burns your skin. And if you've ever used it once, you still probably have this around your house if you didn't just chuck it, because it costs a lot of money, because you're not going to use it for your nails, and you opted to go to a professional instead. Well, what I did was, I'm going to use my regular glasses to demonstrate because that still has to cure for at least 24 hours. Okay, my mom's glasses broke right there on the metal. So there was a little opening where the metal had connected. And she asked me to bring her this. Nail glue was not going to be enough. I know this from experience because this is my 4th or 5th pair of glasses. I go through them the way I go through hairstyles, if that tells you anything at all. Anyway, I did use this to connect the dots, basically to hold the pieces together on a potato chip bag. Because it's plastic, it's aluminum covered. I figured any drips would not, mess up the couch or whatever. And I set the glasses, making sure the surface was firm on it, used the glue, connected it, separated it, let the glue dry just a little bit, then fit the pieces back together. That way I had a bond type thing going on. Then I put some more glue on. Then I used the primer, which fortunately, this actually comes with a little teeny brush attached to it, which is good because the last time I stuck a paintbrush in that stuff, this is what happened to my paintbrush. See that? It is totally unusable ever again. But I used that paintbrush to put the primer everywhere I wanted the acrylic stuff to stick. Then I used my butterfly paintbrush. It's got sable tips, You can go to any craft store and get this. I believe there's a number 5 tip. Could be smaller, but, this general size. It's written on there, but, well, hold on, duh. Yeah, now I can see it. It's a number 5 tip. Anyway, I dipped that in the acrylic liquid, then stuck my paintbrush directly into my acrylic powder. That's like my 3rd thing of acrylic powder. I do know where to get professional monomer and professional primer, so I don't use this stuff that came with this kit. And I just dabbed it everywhere that I had primer. And then I took, and this is where the potato chip bag really comes in handy. I just literally opened this up and poured it directly onto the glasses everywhere there was liquid. And then I just pushed the powder, wherever place I wanted it to fill. Any place that it wasn't thick enough, whatever, I just took more of the acrylic liquid, painted some more on, and then I was just literally able to lift the glasses directly into the pile of powder that I had made with the bag. Because, well, when you pour, you get overflow. Then I let it sit for about 5-10 minutes before I lifted it up and stuck it on a paper towel. Then I took the potato chip bag, folded it in half, That made this end a funnel, and I poured the powder directly back into the container to be used another day. I fixed 2 hearing aids and a piece of jewelry and several other things with the same method. Then, just for good measure, there will be pictures on my blog. I mean, you can see what I did. There's this paper towel. I mean, it's a mess. But what I did was I made sure I protected the lens. In case you ever want to try this, this is an important step. I made sure I covered the lens on both sides, and then I took my nail file grit side and made sure my fingers were blocking any place there was glass, and there was paper towel I knew where there was glass, and then I just fouled it a little bit. Then I took this one, which is a smaller grit, 100 to 180, and I fouled it, you know, on both sides, avoiding the glasses itself. And then I took the finer part and buffed it. At that point, I took just plain acrylic liquid and painted where the surface was that, you know, had just been filed. Gave that a minute to sit. Then I washed the glasses very thoroughly to make sure they were nice and clean and make sure there was no acrylic residuals like on the glass itself. Because, frankly, it's only going to stick wherever the primer touched it, and then anything you do after that, you can actually get it off there. But because of the material they make the glasses out of, you don't want to make a mistake and get any of those chemicals directly on the lens itself. So this is what, hold on, it's still curing. This is what I'm left with. Now, you'll notice there's only one spot right there where any of the acrylic got, and that's actually there on purpose because I needed a bridge from here to here to here for the major break that was right there, because that way they will not come back apart. And on the inside, it's only right there. There's none on the actual glass itself. And I had my mom try them on before the curing process was completed, so that way I can make adjustments if necessary. She said they were perfect. The little occlusion with the acrylic is not blocking her vision. So I figure since the patient's recouping nicely, and I've learned from previous repairs with other things that this stuff will continue to get hard because of the method I used overnight. So it's got to sit still overnight. She said she needs them by 11. I told her, fine, just don't fall asleep in the glasses, because that's a bad habit, and that's how they get broken. Anyway, I figure if anybody else is, you know, suffering a repair and they can't do an emergency appointment with the eye doctor or whatever, you know, maybe share how that was done. And the only thing that I can tell you, you know, I'm in my living room where there's a huge window and a door. They are both open and it's cold outside. But that's what keeps the whole house from smelling like chemicals. Because this stuff is hard to breathe on. But if you do it, make sure you're well ventilated. Make sure that you wear gloves, preferably vinyl gloves. Rubber ones tend to itch after, you know, you do all this. And if you happen to have them, wear some safety glasses. Me, I didn't wear safety glasses. I wore these because they magnify so I could see what I was doing, because that's a very small area to be working in. But this is People 7. Thought I'd share that. And y'all stay blessed. Bye now.